I think most of us would agree that we want to see goodness and love and peace in our world, right? We want to see good things happen. We want to see everyone love each other. We want peace. But over the past decade or so, we've begun to see a new emergence of disunity in the world over race and gender. And over the past month, we've seen that disunity expand even further into those people who don't want to follow the corona's guidelines or those people who do want to follow the coronavirus guidelines. Humanity has this tendency to devalue each other over differing opinions, yet in the exact same breath, scream and cry for good, love, and peace in the world. We see it happen every single day. And if, like 1 Timothy 4:12 says, God has chosen us to set an example, to be an influence to the world, then how do we even begin to have an effect on how humans treat other humans? Have you ever heard the saying, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all? I look around and sometimes wonder if everyone actually applied this saying, then would people just cease to talk altogether? It seems like we talk more negatively than we do positively. This is one of those phrases, though, that it can sometimes feel childish for us to hear or even apply because we learned it in preschool or early in elementary school. So when we hear it or someone says it to us, we think, stop treating me like a kid. Well, in all honesty, this is such a good rule for life. And maybe if we would have actually learned it well as kids, we wouldn't even be talking about it today. It's such a good rule for life when it comes to simply how we treat one another. When we choose to remain silent, we intentionally choose to save someone else from the pain that our words can cause. And it does more than that. Choosing our words wisely helps us, the speakers, the talkers, just as much, if not more so, than the people we're talking to. 1 Peter 3:10 says this, for whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech. If we want to see goodness and love and peace in our world, if this is the type of influence that we want to have, then the first thing that we can do to have an effect is to avoid deceitful, evil, and harsh words. James, in another book of the Bible, refers to this as taming our tongues. And when we tame our tongues, or when we keep from evil and deceitful speech, as Peter says, we begin to see a transformation in our hearts as well. Because instead of letting these words out, we keep them in our mouth, and we see how bad these evil words actually taste, and we want to get rid of it. And the more that we do this, the more our heart and our minds stop producing these thoughts or these feelings that then lead to these harsh words because, well, why would they take the effort to make that thought or have that feeling if it's not going to be released in a word? And that might sound complex, or you might think, okay, Austin, I think you're reaching a little too much here. But I truly believe that if you want to have an effect on the world as a Christian, then one of the first and best practical steps that you can take is to start monitoring your mouth. And if you agree, or if you're experiencing any conviction right now because of the way that you talk, then in order to help you remember to choose your words wisely, try to memorize this verse today. And if you want to take it a step further, make an effort to listen to today's song of the day in the description once per day this whole next week. Because music has a very powerful effect and connection with our memory.